your morning, Samuel, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm so happy to be talking to you today. You are working as the CTO of Africado, and I came across your LinkedIn profile a while ago, and I got really curious because your profile was mentioning that you're the empathetic guy. So technology is often misunderstood about how is this not inhuman and all that, right? But more and more I am discovering that it can be very, very human and also empathetic too. So I am very honored to be having this interview with you today. So can you tell us a little bit about your tech journey and how you came to where you are today, if that's okay?
Yes, sure, definitely. Thank you very much, Jane, for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Samuel George, and I'm a software developer and engineering manager, also CTO and founder. So this means I wear a lot of hats. I'm not where I am today. I didn't get here overnight, so this means that there were lots of hard work behind the scenes, and of course, a couple success and failure. Most times we talk about just the success without the failures. So, real quick, I will give a quick run through on how I got to where I am, also talking briefly about the successes and the failures. I have always been a teacher, and for the majority of what I do now, I still teach. Maybe not in the classroom, but helping people write better codes, looking at people's codes, engineers' codes, and I'm trying to give structured feedback and review. In the classroom, as a geography teacher, which was where what I started with, I'm still teaching high school students geography, and that was where I began to understand a couple things. I saw humans for what we really are, and that is people who are really desirous to do better. An average human always has that innate innate spirit to thrive and just keep pushing. So in a normal school environment, you see people of different characters and different backgrounds. I really got interested in what makes people feel the way they feel, like what makes people feel the way they feel and why do people feel this way. And that helps me, structure lessons particular to them. And I go into like psychology, just the whole empathetic and psych parts of why people feel the way they feel. It was there that I realized that certain individuals need special, like certain people demand special need and attention. And when I go into technology, while a teacher, I started researching about technology and what's the advantages of technology and how I can use technology while teaching. I began to use video lessons and I got to learning about some softwares to teach the kids how to design maps. So I got really fascinated with technology and I saw how if you structure lessons to people's needs and if you focus on how people feel, you can actually send a message. Right there, I learned to code and not just learning to code, but I learned how software can help people, like how we can use software to help our lives. And I looked at how we can learn to code to build applications that can help individuals. So right there, I built a couple apps and I tested it with the kids, apps that help the kids structure their lessons. And I saw how this software could help, in terms of boost productivity. I also noticed how behaved, people's behavior to using software that help their lives get better. I got really fascinated with the world of software and how we can build applications, not just to solve problems, but applications that speak to the human mind, applications that actually make people feel loved and feel inclusive, right? So we've got different sort of people with different needs, and we have to build applications that takes care of their needs. With Africado as a CTO, Africado is a company that deal on wholesale of agricultural products. sourcing it from Africa and distributing it all over the United States of America. So what I do with Africado is I help organize the software internally. So we've got like certain softwares that we use to manage operations. So I ensure that the software work okay, and in terms of internal communication and the internal applications work all right and are up to date. We use that for inventory and all of that. But another focus here is founding a company, which is something I actually have, although I have individuals running that. It's a company that builds solutions, definitely. And what we do is we listen to individuals, you walk to us, you tell us the idea you have. And because we are individuals that are highly empathetic, engineers are highly empathetic, we understand the problem and we know how to package the solution and take that to the customer, the user. So that's all about being like an empathetic engineer. It's not just a robot, but someone who understands the people who would use this product, but also an engineer who can build this product. Thank you, Jane.
Wow. It's amazing just hearing out what you've been doing and you are doing at this specific point of time. Um, so, from my understanding, what your services practically understands the mind of your clients or potential clients, and provide with the services based on that philosophy or perspective. That is, I think, very amazing and a good and better way to help out people, in terms of solving problems and all that. So moving on to my next question, which is about AI, because this channel is to most of the time discuss about the AI and the impact of it. How do you see? So you're building services and applications, so which means some of that involves the AI already. So could you share a little bit about how is it helping your running business or the people's lives at this specific moment from where you are today?
Thank you very much. That's a beautiful question. I've said this oftentimes, and I think I'm going to say it again. One of the best things that ever happened to the human race is artificial intelligence. And of course, there are lots of um, theories and where people say, oh, AI is going to take over the human race. It's going to be the end of us. Even though people, that is something people look at, but I mean, I try to look at a well-managed artificial intelligence system can help the human race more, can actually do more good than harm. Today we have really wonderful AI that can help predict pattern and then advise solutions. We've got AI that helps stop cybercrime. So, like for a cyber theft, an individual who performs cyber attacks, there are certain activities and patterns. So if you train your model right, it can look out for those patterns and then flag your system just in time or before a potential attack, saving your company huge amounts of money and, of course, lawsuits that could follow. For me, I have been able to employ AI in our system in terms of inventory. So, building a well sophisticated, well automated inventory system that automatically takes care of tracking from the time of ordering to the time of delivery. So it's really been beautiful. I would say the biggest selling point for me with AI is automation. How well AI has helped automation to automate tasks. I mean, humans, we want to spend our time doing relevant things. And if something can be automated, why not have an artificial intelligence system, do that rather than task yourself to, do repetitive tasks. So having training, being able to train the model just okay, it could help us save a lot of time. And for myself, it's helped me build really great systems that take care of automating inventory and also takes care of management. So in terms of management and inventory, I would say AI has really been a blast. And like I said, it's really been one of the greatest invention and best thing that could happen to man.
Awesome. That is awesome. Um, so you're a businessman right now, but you used to be a geography teacher, or are you still teaching?
Yeah, that's a very great question. So, I consider myself a businessman, and this is, I mean, being in a managerial level or in a level such as a founder or CTO, you're more likely to talk about finance, business, and how to move the company forward than actual other tasks. However, I mean, philanthropically, I teach high school students to code. It's something I have taken up to do because, I mean, I say this often as well that technology, and coding in generally saved my life. I mean,
Mm,
I embraced it at a point where I was literally at a very low point. I embraced technology. I put in a lot of time into it, dedicated nice effort. There were times where it hit me hard and I felt like giving up. But I mean, pushing on and looking where I am today, I'm really grateful for the fact that I pushed. So I'm actually taking that back to my local community where I teach kids, high school kids to code. I also work with a couple international organizations to render services such as software instructor, just to help more people get into tech. Currently, as a freelance work, I help women, UK women, learn to code in collaboration with the UK government, and that's really been awesome, just giving back to the community, helping kids, helping women, close
mm.
the gender gap, and just getting more people in tech. The more people, the better, if you ask me.
That is amazing. I just wanted to ask you that question because, as a teacher, you could see and also engage with your students very closely to help them with the tech, the most, up to date tech, right? So I saw the picture on your LinkedIn profile, which was, taken with some of your students, I believe. And I wanted to ask, how do you see this? Societal changes that are being led or caused by the technology helping people in positive ways. I think you already answered some part of my question, but do you see these changes? How do you see these are changing and evolving people's lives in positive ways, including your students, maybe?
Yeah, thank you very much for that. I'll start by saying many years ago, it was impossible to see someone from afar. I'm here in Nigeria, and I mean, we're having this conversation so many thousands of kilometers away. That was at some point considered witchcraft. Like literally, you could be burned for insinuating and thinking that was possible. But here it is. I can put a cell phone in my pocket and I could call you up anywhere you are in the world. So over the span of time, we've seen technology transcend from where we thought was the height to where we are today, which is still so far away from where we are headed, trust me, especially with the inclusive and the advancement of AI. I would say currently in this 21st century, we're at a time where we have everything at our disposal. We have 5G, we have super fast internet connectivity, we've got great power supply, we've got great minds, we've got ingenuity, we've got people like really thinking outside of the box. And I would say now more than ever, we've experienced astronomical great advancement in ingenuity, in creation and invention, right? And it's just a matter of time until we get to that point where we're like maybe teleporting people from one point to another. Like it's just in a second you're at somewhere else. So for my students, especially here in Nigeria, where I mean technology is still really fast growing, I would say that it's really been great. The What keeps me going is the aha moment. When a kid or someone who thought the best they could do with their laptop is to watch a movie or to maybe type in a document in a Google Docs or whatever, and now they are able to use that in computer to develop simple programs or some sort of program that can take care of some tasks. I mean, that's aha moment, the light bulb moment. It's really beautiful. For someone, a great societal change. It's this is I mean, if I ask 10 people, they're gonna give us a variety of answers because it's actually subjective to an individual. The way you view the society and how changes has occurred over time could be different from the way I view, especially from our different standpoints and experience. But for
Mhm.
me, and especially here in Nigeria, um, the work I am doing, helping people to code, it has actually produced really, really tremendous societal change. One of my students has actually taken it upon themselves to build an application which is currently being in the national IT competition, and I think it's really good. The reason I actually got into this is I feel like if myself, I consider myself being highly empathetic and someone who understands people from especially their points of view. I feel like if I can learn to code and build solutions, then there are more people who are like me or even better that has like they have great ideas and but the only thing stopping them and the only thing that could take them from here to where we want to be as a country or as the generally as the human race is just the technology or the know-how, technical know-how. So why not educate and empower that individual with the know-how so they can take that idea in their head and implement it. Every software we have today were once great ideas. And I say that often that great ideas and great softwares were once just ideas. Every software you see today and we can use today were once just ideas. So the more people that can build this, or the more people that can manage the whole idea, the better. Because then we have people introducing breakthrough technology, breakthrough software in medicine, in agriculture, in banking and finance, things that can help us just because I mean the idea was well managed and well implemented. So I think yeah, we're getting there eventually.
Wow, that is very impressive. I am really thankful to be here to be hearing what you are sharing right now because sometimes we don't want to see things unexpectedly. So sometimes we are scared, sometimes we don't want to take part, but this is a great time to be take part of this whole change in terms of tech involvement. As you mentioned, it's a breakthrough one after another, and it's helping out people's lives very broadly from various aspects. So I'm very thankful you sharing this tonight or this morning, and also inspiring us about how we're gonna sort of participate in this journey as professionals ourselves. So this will be already my last question. I really hope that there will be another chance. I know you're a busy guy, was you're teaching, running your business, but you are very much of an inspiration for me, I believe to the others also. So thank you so much for everything you shared today. I'm really, really so grateful. My last question would be your short term goal as the CEO or CTO, founder, and tech leader, but also as a teacher, now that I understand that you're also teaching.
All right, thank you very much. This is one thing that I hold really dear, and it's the reason I keep doing what I'm doing. So there was a point in my life where I reached out to 20 people in my connection, 20 very close people, people that know me very well. And I asked them a question. I said, what is one thing that describes me? What is that one thing that when you think of sorry, when you think of me, that is the one thing you think of, like just all the one thing I am about. And when I got feedback from the 20 individuals, I could map everything to one thing, and which is my passionate contribution to helping people. They didn't say it like it wasn't a fixed word, but I mean it was something I could deduce that I am someone who is really passionate about helping people become better generally. And the reason I am got into like participated in that exercise was I really wanted to understand how do people see me. It's one thing for me to, have a perception of myself. It's another thing to know how people see me. And I really wanted to do that, not from just anyone, but for people who truly, really know me and who would give me like the unbiased, unbiased mirror of who I am. And ever since I've actually thought about it, does this really align with what I'm doing? And yes, it does. As far back as 2018, 17, I carried out a short training. Then I haven't really kind of a short training. I got doctors, I got lawyers, I got people to talk to students. I also was able to help certain students get to learning to code. I looked into sourcing finance, get them laptops and get them subscription. So the fact like someone amidst everything going on in this world can like if I could think about this and constantly I'm thinking of ways like to help people, directly, indirectly. I've seen how technology has been a really great improvement and contributions in my life, and I'm trying to like send that back. So for me, my short-term goal is the same. As a founder who is an individual building software with running a company that builds software, my short-term goal with that is to keep building software that speaks to people, software that would stand the test of time, software that when people use, they feel like there is this human touch to it and they have this connection to it. Not like a bad addiction, but some sort of like they feel listened. They feel like people who use software they give feedback and they want to feel heard. You get that feedback and you look at what they need. You try to implement it. Okay, just give them what they want. As a CTO for Africado, I also want to keep helping individuals get healthy avocado-based products by making sure that they don't stop, they don't stop getting their products okay, and that is if our software remains top notch and okay. So I mean, you place your order, you get it okay, and yeah, you can give your feedback. As a teacher, which is even the most, it's gonna surprise you, being a teacher is the best thing for me, more than being a founder, more than being CTO, more than being an engineering manager. Being a teacher, being someone that I mean, I have a lot of students. A couple of my students are all over the world, and I mean, to just have someone reach out and be like, "Hi, hi, I got this job. I started working on this project. I started doing this." It's when I leave this world, what I want to be remembered for is an individual who inspired a lot of people in the very little way that I'm doing that. And that is a short term goal to keep inspiring people, whether that is through software, through teaching, whichever way, or through my life, my very simple life. So I want to keep doing that.
Wow. Okay, that was really impressive. Thank you so much. And your goal is already being achieved, I feel, because you inspired so many of us, I believe, including the ones who will be watching this video later on. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, or this morning, I'm sorry. And I wish you all the best all of the time. Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you so much for having me, Jane.
Thank you.